Hi everyone, welcome. It's lovely to see you here. It's so nice to see you back and ready to do some yoga with me. I'm really pleased you're all here to join in. Today in our class we're going to be thinking about balance, which potentially seems like an unusual theme for a class where we don't balance that much actually, we're mainly seated. But seated is a great place to build balance so that we are then able to balance more easily when we need to. And we're going to come into a couple of balances towards the end of our practice today, standing, which you are more than welcome to kind of work on and see where they feel for you. You can use the chair for support. I'll show you those when we get to them. But first of all, let's just make sure we're comfortable. So if you want to sit up on a cushion, you're more than welcome to. I'll just show you how I've got my chair set up. So this is just an ordinary hard chair. It's actually one from our garden. And when I sit on it, I make sure that the soles of my feet are flat on the floor, which means that I'm slightly away from the back of the chair. I try and keep my body as upright as possible. So I'm working some of my postural muscles, some of the kind of strong core muscles all the time, just to help keep me straight, help me keep sitting up in this kind of straight position. If you need to take breaks, absolutely feel free to come back and lean against the back of the chair when you need to. We will come back and lean against the back of the chair towards the end of the practice as well when we come into our relaxation. But for now, just prioritising the soles of the feet firmly in contact with the floor if you can. The hands can rest wherever you like. Maybe they're going to be in the lap or on your knees or whatever suits you. I'm just going to turn around so I can see forwards again. So finding yourself in a comfortable position here. Hands rest wherever it feels like an appropriate place for them to rest. And when you're ready, we'll start our practice by dropping into a little bit of stillness, by bringing our awareness and our attention into the body. So in your own time, you might choose to close the eyes or to look down gently towards the floor. And you're just starting to bring that awareness into the body. Starting to really feel how the body is. Noticing any sensations that pop up here in the body, and often it tends to be sensations of discomfort which appear first. So if you do feel uncomfortable, or if you feel restless, or if there's any kind of tension or stiffness, pain in the body, notice those things, acknowledge them, and then see if you can let your attention move on. See if you can come to notice other sensations in the body. Maybe the body feels relaxed. Or maybe there are parts of the body that feel strong today. Just doing your best to notice what is here. Notice how your mood is and how your energy level feels. Just getting a picture in your mind of the kind of version of yourself that you're working with at the start of this practice. And eventually, allow your attention to come to rest on your breath. Notice how it feels as you take a long, slow breath in and a steady breath out. We're going to take a couple more breaths in stillness here. And when you feel ready, you might gently blink the eyes open. Maybe you're going to lift the head back to centre if it's been dipped down. I'm just going to apologise for any meowing that you could hear during that. There's something about these chair yoga classes that Marlo, my cat, seems to just really love. They're his favourite. You're his favourite. He loves to come in. He doesn't get involved in any of my other classes, just these ones. He loves you apparently. Once you've found yourself Blinking the eyes open and bringing the head back to neutral, we're just going to take a very gentle stretch through the neck. So in your own time, when you feel ready, you're going to inhale and look across towards your right. Exhale and draw yourself back to center. Inhale and we're going to look towards the left. Exhale, looking back to center. Inhale, back towards your right. Maybe see if you can look with your eyes back past your shoulder. Inhale and come back to center. Exhale and make your way over to your left. Exactly the same again. Draw the chin round to the place that feels like that's your limit, and then look with your eyes back past your shoulder. Bring the head back through to center. And when you feel ready, take a big inhale. You're going to stretch your arms out to the side. And then they'll start to come up and overhead, but as high as makes sense in your body. So if you've got tight shoulders or if the arms don't feel good straight up by your ears, keep the arms nice and wide and relaxed. That is totally fine. From this position, you're going to inhale, look up, lift the chest. As you exhale, imagine you're pushing something heavy away from you out in front. You're going to press it forwards, tuck your chin to your chest and look down at your knees. Inhale, open your arms back up, lift the chest, lift the gaze. Exhale, push something heavy away out in front. So you feel the muscles of the belly pull back towards the spine, the chin tucked to the chest. We'll go one more time. Inhale to lift up. Exhale to push, tuck the chin, round your way in. Inhale your way back to the top, the arms open wide. Exhale, let the hands float down. Let them come right the way back to land in your lap. Maybe you want to give the shoulders a bit of a roll or the neck a little bit of a stretch, whatever feels good for you. From here, we're going to make our way through about 3 of our chair salutations. So like a sun salutation, designed to warm up the body, to create some heat in the body and start to find the body moving, but designed around the chair. So we'll do the first one all together. We'll keep it nice and slow, and then we might be able to pick up the pace as we get a bit more familiar with the movements. Feet planted on the floor. You're going to inhale and bring the arms up overhead. As you exhale, you're going to fold the body over the legs as much as makes sense for you. So you might be able to come all the way down and have your fingers touch the floor and your head hang. Or you might want to rest the hands on the knees as you bring the body down as far forwards as makes sense for you. From wherever you are, you're going to breathe in and lengthen up through your chest. You're going to breathe out and let the body float the way back down into that forward fold. Breathe in, hands to knees, lift the chest and the gaze, look up. Breathe out, pull the belly in, let the shoulders hunch forwards, look back towards your belly button. Inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale, the hands come down, maybe hands in prayer through heart center or something else that feels right in your body. Beautiful work, really nice. I'm just going to turn my chair to the side so you can see how this looks the other way around. So we'll do exactly the same, chair salutation, a couple more times. When you feel ready, inhale your arms all the way up to the top. Breathe out, let the body fold over the legs. See if you can get the belly to come down onto the thighs. Remember, you can rest on your hands or knees, or you can come fingertips to the floor. Inhale, you're going to rise up, lengthen up through your back. Exhale, you're going to fold down. Hands to knees. Inhale, lift the chest, lift the gaze, look up. Exhale, pull the belly in, take the spine in the opposite direction, around your back. Inhale, the arms go up overhead. Exhale, the hands come down through heart center. I just think maybe you can't quite see while I'm wearing this jumper, so I'm just going to take my jumper off for one round so that you can see what I'm doing with my back body a little bit clearer. So find yourself seated. Steady your breath. And when you're ready, take an inhale, bring the arms up overhead. Exhale, fold the body down over the legs. Inhale, as if you were coming up halfway, you flatten out your back. Exhale, fold the body in, long over the legs. Hands to knees. Inhale, lift the chest, lift the gaze. Shoulders are away from the ears. I'm arching my back, chest is forwards. Exhale, pull the belly in, let the shoulders slump forwards, really round the back. Inhale, the arms come back up overhead. Exhale, the hands float down through the center line. Beautiful work, really, really nice. From here, I'll stay pointing this way actually. We're going to start to warm up through the feet, through the legs. So when you're ready, the hands are going to come to rest on the thighs. You've still got your back body away from the chair, feet firmly planted on the floor. You're going to extend your right leg just slightly out in front of the left so that it's a heel down on the floor. And from there, you're going to point the toes down hard towards the floor, lift the heel. And you're going to lift the toes, let the heel find the floor. So you're working the foot almost as if it were a seesaw backwards and forwards. The toes touch down, the heel lifts. The heel touches down, the toes lift. We're going to keep that going. And you might notice, actually, even sitting here with the leg extended out in front becomes a little bit of a balance because you've got just the one leg for stability now. And you might notice the muscles of the belly switch on a little bit more. Toes point down and then toes point up. And then from there, when you feel ready, we'll lift the foot right the way away from the floor and we'll see how it feels to circle at the ankle. And it might not be a big movement. You can move as much or as little as you like here at the ankle, but you're looking to kind of draw a circle with your big toe, round in a circle, out in front. Make sure that you're not circling the whole leg because that's going to get very tiring, and instead just see if you can keep this isolated at the ankle. Change direction, so roll the ankle back the other way if you haven't already. Maybe spread your toes out wide, point the toes, whatever feels nice in your body. And then when you feel ready, we'll bring that right foot back to match up with the left. And I'd just love for you to notice how different the right foot feels to the left now. If it's more connected to the body, if it feels more switched on, awake. We'll do the same on the left side. So the left foot goes out in front till the toes lift and the heel is down on the floor. We're just going to seesaw the foot backwards and forwards. Heel touches down and then heel lifts and toe taps down. It's a very light tap with the toe, almost as if you're kind of practicing your ballet toes, and then the toes pull up and away from the floor. So we're working this flexion of the foot, this lift and then point down of the toes. And not only are we strengthening up and waking up the muscles in the foot, but also the muscles in the front and the back of our leg around our calf muscle and our shin that do so much work when we're standing up are starting to wake up here as we point and flex the toes. So we'll go for a couple more of these. And then when you feel ready, we'll lift the foot clear off the floor and just see how it feels to circle through the foot. Circling through the ankle, point the toes as they come round, maybe spread the toes out wide if that feels nice. Roll through the foot. When you feel ready, we'll take it the other way, roll it back in the other direction. Very nice. So just warming up the ankles and the feet and the muscles of the legs that do lots of work when we balance. So they do lots of work when we walk, but also when we're trying to balance. When you feel ready, bring the left foot back to match the right foot. Notice how the left foot feels. Lovely. From here, we're just going to warm up the big muscles in the tops of the legs, fronts of the thighs, and fire up our core muscles, our stabilizing, strong kind of corset of muscle that helps us to stand up. So we're going to fire those up a little bit more strongly. And to do that, I'd love for you to just scooch a little bit forwards in your chair if you can. So you're a little bit closer to the edge of the chair. You're not right on the edge because you don't want to feel wobbly. You're just a little bit further away from the back of the chair, because what we're going to do is lean the body back slightly. And as soon as you lean the body back slightly from the hips, so just watch out, you're not rounding the back. What you're doing is tipping the body back from the hips slightly. The belly muscles will switch on a little bit more. As the belly muscles switch on a little bit more here, all we're going to do, very nice and controlled, is lift one leg at a time. So we'll start with the right leg. The right toes come up and away from the floor. We'll let the body lean back, pull the belly in, and then we'll gently lower the right foot down. You can bring the body back to upright if you need a break, or you might stay in that leaned back switch on position. Left toes are going to lift up and away from the floor. Notice how I'm not bringing my knee to my chest. I'm instead seeing if I can tilt my body back so the muscles of the belly really switch on nice and strong. Release the left foot down. So it's sort of a half boat position that we're working here in the chair. When you're ready, right foot is going to lift, right foot lifts, belly pulls in, body leans back, but I'm not touching the chair, that's just my jumper. When you feel ready, once you've got the right leg in that position, if you can hold it here, see how it feels to push the right hand against the right thigh. When you press right hand against right thigh, you'll feel the muscle of the belly switch on a lot stronger. Push, push, push. Let go, let the right foot come back to the floor. We'll do the same on the other side. Left knee is going to lift. Tilt the body back, feel the muscles of the belly switch on really strongly. Left hand against left thigh, you're going to press. And as you press, feel the belly hug in, push the knee away, feel the thigh switch on, strong press. And then release, let the left foot come down to the floor. Really, really nice. So just because we're working seated doesn't necessarily mean that we're not working strong muscles in the body, that we're not able to work in a concentrated way. And you might really feel the muscles of the fronts of the thighs waking up. You might feel the muscles of the belly waking up here. We're going to put them into action. So by planting the feet firmly on the floor and drawing the hands in towards the chest, you can use hands in prayer at the center of the chest, or you can make two fists and just pop them side by side if that works better for you. Hands in towards the chest. You're just going to see how it feels to tip the body weight forwards and see if you're able to hover the bottom off the chair. So you're coming sort of halfway up to standing. And then when you feel ready, you're gently going to lower the bottom back to the chair. So we're going to play with that just a couple of times, moving into and out of our chair pose from our chair. You might feel like it's very strong in the legs. If it feels too strong in the legs to stand up, so if the standing up is not happening, you can work that in tension. So actually, just by getting halfway through a movement, we often fire up all the muscles that we actually need to get there. So if you're not going to stand all the way up, see how it feels to push down through your feet, pull your belly in and tilt forwards as if you were going to lift. See, I'm just slightly coming away from the chair. If you can, bottom up away from the chair, pull the belly in, lower it down, gently sit back into the chair. Maybe have a break in between if you need to. We're going to do one more. You might be lifting all the way up, you might be staying seated, but whatever you're doing, you're thinking about putting down your strong feet into the floor, the feet that we have warmed up. Pull the belly muscles in, the belly that we have warmed up, and if you can, push down through the feet, tilt the body forwards, squeeze through the glutes as if you were going to rise up off the chair. Maybe you come to stand. Ooh. See, my balance isn't always there. And then we'll sit our way back down, sitting back down onto the chair. Give the legs here, so you might want to sit back in your chair for this, just give the legs an opportunity to completely relax, give them a bit of a wiggle. So it might be that you want to kick your feet, it might be, let me come facing forward so you can see what I'm doing. It might be that you want to just sort of give the knees a bit of a shake. So you're just maybe one knee at a time, just gonna let the legs relax, because work quite hard there, and by leaning back against the chair, the belly muscles will switch off. You can catch your breath a little bit. So we're going to do one more, a very different type of coming into a balance, and it's going to come from that forward fold that we were in before. Again, you don't have to stand up with this one. You can stay seated and just work the action as if you were going to stand up. It'll make sense when we get there. So when you're ready, you're going to stretch your arms up towards the ceiling, and then breathe out exactly as we did in our chair salutations. Fold the body down. And if you're coming down and resting your elbows or your hands on your knees, that's fine. You can work from this position. If your fingertips come all the way down to touch the floor, fantastic. Plant down through your feet, and wherever you are, you're going to see how it feels to transfer your body weight into your feet and just gently come up to stand. So you're coming up to stand on your feet, but your legs don't have to be straight. If your hands are on your knees, you can do exactly the same thing. And just see how it feels to come up to stand. So what you're doing is you're transferring your center of gravity. You're transferring your center of gravity from your hips sitting in the chair to your feet on the floor. We'll go for a couple more of those. Take a breath in here. Breathe out, pull the belly in, bring yourself up to stand on your feet, no support from the chair. Breathe out, lower down. Breathe in here. Breathe out, bring yourself up, away from the chair. Breathe out, lower gently down. Okay, last one. Big breath in here.
Breathe out, pull the belly in, see if you can come up and away from the chair. Maybe your hands are on your knees. Lower yourself back down. Again, if you need to, sit back in the chair. Give the legs a bit of a wiggle, give the legs a bit of a stretch. One more of those, and we're going to use it as a transition to come to standing on our feet. So if you're not managing to get the bottom up and away from the chair each time, you can come up to stand a different way. You could push the chair away and just come to stand that way if that suits you better. If you can though, we're going to find our way back to that forward fold. Inhale, arms go up. Exhale, fingertips come down to find the floor. From here, take a big breath in. Exhale, plant down through the feet. Bring yourself away from the chair. From here, when you're ready, maybe using the hands to help, we're going to roll ourselves all the way up to standing. So you're going to come gently up to standing, belly pulling in. Find yourself standing on your feet nice and strong. Once you've got yourself there, your chair will be just behind you. So you're going to come round the back of the chair so you can stand and hold onto the chair for a bit of strong support. And with the chair supporting us, we're just going to see how it feels to play with the balance a little bit. The chair is here for stability and for support. Use it as much as you need it. Don't feel like you have to take your hand away if you're not ready to take your hand away. So what we'll do is we'll just see how it feels to play with the balance on one leg to start with. Plant down to your left foot, make your left leg nice and strong. And if you can, bring your right toes. If you can, you know what, if you can, just see how it feels to come up onto your right toes. So just lift your heel away from the floor, bend your right knee. If that's okay, and that feels quite comfortable, maybe bringing the right hand to the right hip, you see how it feels to hover the toes off the floor. And maybe they just come away for a second and then you need to put them back down. So maybe you're just lifting and lowering. If you can lift and hold, maybe you can draw a circle in the air with your toes like we did when we were seated. Notice the muscles of the belly pull in to help keep you stable here. Change direction with that circle if you haven't already. And then when you feel ready, gently release your right foot back to the floor. We'll do the same on the other side. And what we're going to do to make sure we've got good support on the other side is we're going to go round to the other side of the chair. So you've got your opposite hand, so it should be your right hand supporting you on the chair now, just so you're really stable. When you feel ready, come up onto your left toes. So it's just a bend in the knee to come up onto your toes. And once you've got that, see how that feels. Maybe you stay here. Maybe you need to try it a couple of times. If you can, you're lifting your left toes away from the floor. Again, maybe you need to just test it out. Maybe you need to adjust to make sure that you're in a stable place on the chair. If you can, lift your left toes away from the floor and see how it feels to draw a circle through the left toes. So again, that rolling of the ankle that we did when we were seated, change direction, but doing it standing means that you've got to work this stability at the center of the core. When you feel ready, release the left foot back down to the mat. Lovely. We're going to take one final balance on each side and we're going to swap back. So we'll have left hand on the chair, stood over on the left side of the chair. If you need to here, by all means, feel free to have a seat, have a break when you need to, or to have a bit of a wiggle and a stretch whenever you need to. So we're going to come here into our supported tree pose. Just making sure you can see me. In our supported tree pose, we're using the chair for stability, but we're just making sure that we're not leaning over towards the chair because that's also going to make us wobbly. So see if you can stand up tall, chair for support. Left foot nice and strong on the floor, left foot plants down, left leg is strong. And all you're going to do is turn your right knee out to the side. So your heel lifts up and your knee turns out to the side. There's something here that always reminds me of that move that you see Elvis doing on stage a lot with the knee. That's what we're after. Send your knee out to the side. Your toes are down on the floor. You're going to slide your right foot so it's against your left ankle. And your toes can still be down on the floor. And this might be enough for you. This might be your version of tree pose. You could bring your right hand to heart center. If you feel like you can do this on just one leg, you'll slide the right heel up the left leg. So you're lifting it up and away. Again, you're keeping your knee pointing out to the side as much as you can. Very beautiful balance. Lovely. Find something to look at which is not moving and see if you can relax your hand that is holding onto the chair. So it can still hold on, but you just don't want to be gripping with white knuckles, creating tension in your shoulder. Take a breath here. And if you're feeling strong, you could choose to grow your tree tall by reaching your right fingertips up towards the ceiling. My arm's just gone out of shot. I'm stretching through my right fingertips up towards the ceiling. Take a big breath in. Breathe out, gently bring the right hand down, gently let the right foot come back to find the floor. Have a bit of a stretch if you need to. Pedal through the knees, wiggle things free, and then we'll swap over. We're going to take the exact same on the other side. Now, what's interesting here is I've taken myself away from this chair. And that's Marlowe, the cat's favourite thing, is to come and sit in a chair that you're not sitting in anymore. So I think it's just a matter of time before he joins us to sit in the chair instead of me. Find yourself with your right hand on the chair. Again, you can have left hand on hip if it makes you feel more steady. And you're going to come up on your left toes, and that Elvis action with the knee, take your knee out to the side. I just had to stop myself doing an Elvis impression there. It would have been horrible. It would have not been very good at all. When you feel ready, slide your left foot against your right foot so that your heel of the left foot is up against the right ankle. And then from there, start to notice how you feel. If you're feeling strong, maybe those toes come away from the floor as the leg slides, as the foot slides up the leg, or maybe the toes stay down. You work on that external rotation in the left hip. Wherever you are, your left hand can come to heart center. And I always suggest find something to look at which isn't wobbling. So it's a good moment to look away from the video, because I've been wobbling a little bit, and just see if you can look at something which is nice and still. When you feel ready, if you want to grow your tree tall, you're going to inhale, stretch left arm up towards the ceiling. Beautiful work. Exhale, left hand is coming down, left foot is going to find the floor. From here, we'll walk back around the chair and find our way back to sit. So we're coming just into, because we've worked quite strongly through the legs and through the feet, we're just going to come into a little stretch for the legs and the feet before we relax. So again, finding that position where you're sitting quite close to the edge of your chair, not right on the edge, but quite close to the edge of your chair. We'll begin by extending out. I'll tell you what, we'll do the left side first because that's the side you can see better. Extend out your left leg so the heel digs down into the floor and the toes pull up towards the ceiling. Your right foot is here for support and stability. You're going to keep pulling these left toes back towards your face. So the back of your left leg is getting a big stretch here. If you can, and it's interesting to you, take an inhale, lengthen up through the front of your body. Exhale, maybe you start to come forwards over that left leg. The stretch will get stronger in the back of the leg. Maybe you're resting both hands on your right knee. So a stretch like you see kind of footballers do. Part of our, it's actually quite a useful part of our yoga practice. That's probably where they've stolen it from. But we've got the chair to support us, so we're not wobbling and trying to stand on our balancing leg. When you feel ready, you're going to back off by bringing your body up first, and then bending in your left knee, bringing your left foot back to the floor. We'll take the same stretch on the right hand side. So the right leg is stretching out. And just so you know, I'm going to just flip it around so you can see me this way. Your right leg doesn't have to go completely straight. You can keep a bend in the knee and just dig the heel into the floor if that feels good for you. So you're extending out as much as you're able to. Your right toes are pulling towards your face. So you've got the big stretch up the back of the right leg. And if it feels comfortable for you, maybe you stay here with the body upright, or maybe you take a big breath in, lengthen up through the front of the body. Breathing out, maybe you're hinging at the hips, so keeping the back nice and flat, you'll bring yourself forwards, putting your body weight down through the left knee. That will make the stretch stronger, it will intensify the sensation. So if it's too much, you can go back to sitting upright. Take a last breath here. And then when you're ready, you'll bring your body upright first, you'll bend the right knee, bring the right foot back to match the left. From here, we're coming into our relaxation. So you're going to scooch yourself back in the chair so that you can lean the back against the back of the chair without kind of feeling like you need to really slump. Your feet can rest on the floor if they touch the floor. If not, and you're up on the toes, that is fine. Maybe you've got a footstool, slide a cushion in underneath. If you need a cushion behind your body, give yourself that support. When you feel like you've got comfortable in the chair, hands can rest gently in your lap, maybe the palms face the ceiling or the palms face down towards the knees. You're just going to gently come back to that stillness. So bringing yourself back to that awareness of the body, maybe closing the eyes or bringing the gaze down towards the floor.
And in this stillness that we drop into now, I'd love for you to become aware of your physical body, noticing how your body feels at the end of this practice and whether that feels maybe different to how it was at the beginning. I'd also love for you to find some gratitude, because your body is amazing. And balancing is one of the trickiest things that we ask the body to do. We're asking it to stabilize us. And it can, and it does. And that's incredible. And the muscles are strong. And it's an amazing thing to reflect on how strong and intelligent this body is. So seeing if you can come into your physical body right here, right this second, in this moment, and maybe just have a very kind of sincere thanks for the body, for the breath, for these strong muscles. Shush, you're being quiet. And just allow the breath to be slow and steady and relaxed. Allow the face to relax. Allow the body to feel heavy and soft and comfortable in the chair. And then when you feel ready, in your own time, bring your awareness very gently back to your breath. Notice how your breath feels in the body, and maybe the breath feels strong enough to start to wake up the body. Maybe a small wiggle of the fingertips, or a point and flex and stretch out of the toes. If you want to, you could stretch the arms up overhead, so you can take a big stretch up towards the ceiling. Bringing the hands gently back down into the lap or onto the body. You might, in your own time, blink your eyes open and bring your gaze back to center. We've been joined by Marla, who can't resist these chair yoga classes. He's just here to say how amazing all of your bodies are, how amazingly hard you've worked. I think that's what he's here to say, I'm going to guess. If you want to, you're welcome to seal your practice, maybe by bringing your hands to heart center and bowing your head to your heart. Thank you so much for joining me, for practicing with me, and for getting your body moving. And I hope you have a really lovely day. Thank you so much, guys.